It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
Right now on Fox 5 News at 10.
You can dress like a model for next to nothing. We'll show you how.
Getting rid of your migraine headache, a simple trip to the dentist could be all you need.
And Sam will tell you that this priest performs miracles. Tonight you'll hear why. Good evening, I'm John Rolland.
I'm Rosanna Scotto. More on those stories in a moment, but first, we're starting with breaking news. It's a frightening new terror alert just issued by the FBI. Len Cannon's in the newsroom with more on this developing story. Len.
Rosanna, good evening to you. Ever since 9/11, the government has issued terrorist warnings before, but nothing quite like this. Here's why. For the first time, the alert came with very little advance notice. This one coming down within the last hour about a possible terrorist attack as early as tomorrow in the United States. Right now, there is no specific target named. However, also for the first time, the FBI says they do have a name. They are looking for a Yemeni national named Fawaz Yahya al-Rabi. Again, the name Fawaz Yahya al-Rabi, as well as a dozen of his associates. Once again, this attack could come as early as tomorrow, but no specific location has been named. The FBI plans to put out photos and information on its website. Right now, they do not have the photo of the gentleman that I just named, as well as his 12 associates, but they hope to a little bit later. And what we're going to take a look at now is the FBI website of current FBI suspects and terrorist suspects who they have been looking for. They do not have the most recent name that I mentioned, but we're waiting for updated information from the FBI to put that photo on its website, and once they do that, we will bring that information to you as soon as possible. Again, a possible terrorist attack could happen in the United States as early as tomorrow, and for the first time, the United States government has named a name and a dozen associates to go along with it. John, back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Len. Well, now, we're going to introduce you to a priest. Some call him a miracle worker. Catholic Church doesn't want to say much about him. Linda Schmidt has our exclusive look at the man. Linda.
That's right there, John and Rosanna. This church right here behind me, Maria Regina Church here in Seaford, Long Island, is just one of the churches where the priest has been having special services. He's actually visiting us from Croatia, and word is spreading very quickly that this priest has supernatural gifts, like being able to levitate. But the church isn't commenting. The Reverend Zlatko Sudak is the hottest ticket in town. This is home video Fox 5 News obtained exclusively of the 31-year-old priest from Croatia. He's being invited to hold services in churches around the metro area, churches that are packed with eager worshipers. There are claims he can levitate, be in two places at one time, and spontaneously bleed from wounds similar to those of Jesus Christ on his palms, his feet, and forehead. Maria Restani of Hicksville, Long Island, has seen Reverend Sudak 7 times, but she says she has never heard of any of these claims. However, she does believe the Reverend is gifted.
He is anointed from God, and when he speaks, it's like the Holy Spirit is there with him, and you really feel a presence of God with him.
Reverend Sudak also held services in Greenwich Village at Our Lady of Pompeii Church. Pastor Joseph Kogo wouldn't talk about Reverend Sudak, but he did say that priests with supernatural gifts don't brag about them.
A priest would never claim that he has these special gifts. It would be the church seeing in him these special gifts and recognizing those gifts.
However, the Catholic Church isn't taking an official position about Reverend Sudak. By the way, Father Sudak is scheduled to hold one of those special services at the Cathedral of St. John the Baptist in Paterson, New Jersey, this Saturday. We're live in Seaford, Long Island. I'm Linda Schmidt, Fox 5 News. John and Rosanna, back to you.
Okay, thank you, Linda. A family from Jersey is devastated, and they're hoping you can help solve a murder mystery. Who killed their grandma? When she went to answer her door in Roselle, there was a shotgun on the other side. Dick Brennan has more right now. Dick.
Yeah, Rosanna, this woman was shot dead right in front of her 2 grandchildren, ages 2 and 5. And now police are absolutely baffled, and the family is devastated.
We had 7 children. We have 8 grandchildren. And I have no idea why anyone would do this to my wife.
The family of Mary Lou Nolan doesn't understand why the 48-year-old woman was shot dead in her Roselle home Saturday night.
My mother's gone. She won't be at my wedding in a month. She won't raise her grandchildren.
At 11:20 p.m., someone came to their home at 220 Fifth Avenue and rang the bell. When Mary Lou answered the door, she was hit by a shotgun blast in the chest. Michael was asleep upstairs.
I heard breaking glass, and then my wife called out to me, "Mike, I've been shot."
Mary Lou Nolan was a hard-working woman who ran the courtesy counter at the local food town.
To know this lady, to speak to her, to know her is to love her.
Police do not suspect robbery, and her family has no answers.
She doesn't have an enemy in the world. And I can't answer how much I feel, how sad I am.
My heart is just broken because I need my mother to be at my wedding. I need my mother to see my future, and I need my nieces and nephews to be with their nanny.
Now, right now, police can only speculate on what happened on Saturday night. Was it a case of mistaken identity or something else? Well, that's unclear right now. In the meantime, though, they'll be offering a $5,000 reward. We're live in Roselle. Dick Brennan, Fox 5 News. John, back to you.
All right, thank you, Dick. Well, it turns out that the mystery illness that killed a woman at a convention in Jersey was not Legionnaire's disease. It was a form of meningitis. Joanne Hemstreet died Sunday morning. She got sick at a convention of mortgage brokers in Cherry Hill. Doctors tell us that this is not an outbreak of meningitis. 7 people had been hospitalized with symptoms that appeared to be the flu.
6 of them would probably have been discharged under normal circumstances, treated and discharged, but because of the nature of this, we just want to observe them for another 24, 48 hours.
Now, the 7 people hospitalized were given antibiotics as a precaution. The woman who died was from Massachusetts. Rosanna.
John, a woman mistaken for dead really did die this morning, and now there's a big investigation. Harry Martin reports there's a lot more to this story than you may have heard.
77-year-old Frances Foster lived here in a 7th-floor apartment in Park Slope. At about 2 o'clock on Saturday afternoon, 2 emergency service technicians were called to that apartment. But this wasn't the first time that somebody thought something was wrong with Mrs. Foster. Elaine Wright lives across the hall and hadn't seen her elderly neighbor for a week and a half.
Well, I've been knocking on her almost a week because she had packages here. When the packages was here about over a week or 2 weeks, then I decided to see what's going on.
So last Wednesday, she went to the apartment's office, asking to get a key to check on Mrs. Foster. Managers refused. On Thursday, she called police, but cops said that a family member would have to file a complaint.
We are always taught if you see mail pile up in the mailbox or if you don't see an elderly senior citizen, you're supposed to act on it right away, not go through a bundle of red tape.
On Friday, family members finally did arrive, but thought that Mrs. Foster may be away.
Doesn't make sense. It's definitely unusual. She was a quiet woman. She was very quiet and private to herself.
Finally, Saturday afternoon, Elaine Wright called 911 and emergency medical technicians. They found her sitting on the bathroom floor with no pulse, found no heartbeat, heard no breathing, saw no reflexes in her eyes when they shined lights in them. Her limbs were rigid. Her skin appeared colorless and ashen. The EMTs thought that she was dead, but Mrs. Foster was barely clinging to life.
It's just an unfortunate situation. This crew saw every evidence and sign that they've been trained to see as being obvious death.
Eventually, Mrs. Foster was taken here to New York Methodist Hospital, but only after the coroner came to pick up her body and found out that she was still alive. She died here early this morning. Meanwhile, tonight, the 2 emergency service technicians are on desk duty pending an investigation. From Park Slope, Harry Martin, Fox 5 News.
Well, a killer who has spent most of his adult life in jail for murdering 2 cops in New Jersey has been released. Thomas Trentino. He killed the 2 officers back in 1963. He was originally sentenced to death, but was spared after the death penalty was declared unconstitutional by the Supreme Court. He's been living in a halfway house for the past year in Camden. The mother of one of the officers he killed cannot believe he's a free man.
Should never been out. He belonged in a cage, not even to able to walk anymore for what he did, for the crime he committed for no reason.
Mr. Trentino turned 64 today. His lawyer says he's staying in another halfway house till he gets settled. He's applied to move to Staten Island. He has family there.
The DA in Westchester has a message for the teenage girls caught laughing after their arrest for torturing a school counselor. She's promising they won't be laughing for long. Felipe Luciano has the update right now. Felipe.
Roseanne, it's a story straight out of hell. Last Thursday, a 32-year-old counselor at the Pleasantville School for Troubled Teens was beaten and tortured by 8 teenage girls. According to police, she was beaten for over an hour, had alcohol doused on her body, they set it afire, had bleach thrown in her face, had her hair cut, and then was thrown down 2 flights of stairs. 7 of the girls are in police custody, being held without bail. Police are still looking for an 8th accomplice. The charges of attempted murder seem to have no impact on these teens as they were marched before the cameras.
This was a particularly savage attack. If it had continued, she quite possibly could have been killed. That's why the 7 have been charged with attempted murder in the 2nd degree.
But what about security? Why was this woman left alone to deal with 16 young girls in a cottage, especially when she was attacked last August in the same manner? Those who run the house, the Jewish Child Care Association, are beginning to question everything.
We're looking at training issues, we're looking at intake issues, we're looking at case management issues, we're looking at things like physical alarm systems.
I moved here because it was a safe place for my children to grow up, and I think that there needs to be better security.
Do you still feel safe?
No. I lock my doors and don't feel safe at all.
The woman is resting comfortably here at the Westchester Medical Center. People say she is lucid, though very upset. The 2 older girls, who will be 16 years of age, will be facing 25 years. The younger minors will be facing up to 10 years. And as you heard, according to the district attorney, they will not be laughing so much when they face the criminal justice system. Felipe Luciano, Fox 5 News. Back to John.
All right, thank you, Felipe. Well, new traffic rules took effect in Times Square to make it safer for pedestrians. That didn't stop a lot of drivers from taking a wrong turn. From now on, you're not allowed to make right turns onto Broadway between 44th and 47th Streets. Well, as you can see, Fox 5 caught a lot of drivers ignoring the new signs and making illegal turns. Later on, though, the cops showed up to enforce the rules. Hey, the winds are dying down, but we're still in for a cold night.
The Fox 5 Weather Authority, Nick Gregory's here now with the first look at the forecast. Nick.
We had some stinging cold out there earlier, John Rosanna, but now it is getting a little quieter, and right now in New York City, it's 26, but it still does feel like 16 as the northwesterly wind is blowing at about 9 miles per hour. But look at some of the temperatures around the area as we're already dropping into the teens in a lot of spots, like up and around Poughkeepsie and Newburgh, upper teens there. And we're looking at temperatures in the low to mid-20s as you go from the southern coast of Connecticut on to Long Island. Overnight, it'll stay cold, a couple of clouds, but at least less wind. 23 in the city, but 13 to 20 as you get all again over to those colder suburbs. Should be short, but we do have some clouds to watch with this disturbance dropping in from the Great Lakes. When does that disturbance move through? I'll be telling you about that, and I'll bring you the full forecast a little bit later on Fox 5 News at 10.
Also coming up, what does a dentist know about migraines? Well, you'll find out. His amazing treatment just might cure your aching head.
Plus, cheap chic. You don't have to spend a lot of money for high fashion. You won't believe how cheap these outfits really are.
And are you lonesome tonight? Like 25 dates. Our special report is coming up next.
Good evening, everybody. I'm John DeCepolo. Jason Sehorn of the New York Giants surprised some folks today when they moved into their brand new homes in Newark, New Jersey. Did he give them season tickets? Was it an autographed jersey? Or was it something that could totally turn someone's life around? We'll have an incredible story for you coming up later on in sports.
Fox 5 Problem Solvers. Call us at 1-877-TEL-FOX-5 or log on to fox5ny.com. Live from the Fox 5 television studios in New York City, you're watching Fox 5 News at 10.
You know, when it comes to dating, busy people don't have time for losers. So how'd you like to have dozens of dates in one night? Not possible? Well, Andrea Day is here to tell you that it is. Andrea.
John and Rosanna, it's called speed dating, and you're about to hear the secret of scoring 25 dates in one night like this. Take 25 guys and 25 girls. Give them 3 minutes and rotate. It's the secret behind Hurry Date.
Typical New York attitudes.
Here's the only rule. If your date seems cool, check yes.
Already some of the guys have been like, hey.
But if your date's a dud, you gotta go no.
We're gonna go at it. We're gonna go at it.
We wanted to see what it's really like to play the game. So we planted 2 hidden cameras in the crowd. One on this guy and the other on this girl.
Think the drink is gonna help?
I'm pumped. I'm ready to go. I just gotta get some throat lozenges.
And then we stood back and watched.
You hear so much about you coming all the way down the line.
Oh, God. I'm hungry. officially have my worst date tonight, but it lasted 3 minutes.
Hi, I'm Jane.
Jessica.
Definitely wrong for me. Hi, I'm Jane. I gotta get my spiel down. I don't have it down yet.
Oh God, please someone blow a whistle. Oh, I wrestle alligators. I don't think I'm being too picky, but...
Nice to meet you. See you later. And, I'm gonna circle yes.
I found that I'm one of the rare people that actually like going to their job. I like going to work.
I don't think I found the complete package. Hi.
Lee.
Some people say it can happen in seconds.
What's your name?
Where do you work? What do you do?
I did hear somebody else ask somebody, are all of your limbs real?
This guy, he's trying to set traps for me all night. I mean, he keeps trying to like move my chair, tip the glass, and finally just threw his water on me right when I was coming to the next round. I was like, dude, I go, you know, you're gonna get your fair shot.
So far, I've checked off no to everyone.
We'll see. I mean, I have some yeses.
I'm looking forward to what's coming around the corner.
In the end, if you both check yes, you've got yourself a date.
I actually met some really nice guys at the end.
I found 4 or 5 women that were really interesting and really cute.
You cannot get more New York than this.
Okay, now that you've seen how it works, here's what I thought. It looked like a lot of fun. People were in their late 20s and early 30s, and girls, the guys didn't look so bad. So if you want to do it, log on to hurrydate.com, and they'll tell you where the next big date is. What do you think, John?
Does it cost anything to go to
$30
this thing? $30 you got to pay.
And that's it.
30 bucks
25
for-
dates.
That's not bad.
Not bad.
Put me down for 2 sessions, Andrew.
All right.
Hey, listen, this Valentine's Day, a lot of women are going to be turning the tables on their men and pop the question themselves. In fact, we're told the latest trend in jewelry these days is the male engagement ring. Sales are up on the internet. One store in Chicago says they've gotten over a dozen orders for them.
These are women, very, very powerful women in control of their life and their destiny, and sometimes they don't want to wait around. They just want to take control, and they want to be the ones in charge.
Jewelers also tell us the women doing the proposing are usually young and very attractive. Rosanna.
John, well, you know, this is Fashion Week in New York. Hot colors, great clothes, designer duds that don't come cheap, unless you hang out with Julie Banderas, who can get you that runway look without breaking the bank.
Who says you've got to spend a lot of money to look good? You don't, and I'm going to prove it to you at our thrift shop stop.
We stopped at Housing Works Thrift Shop to find fashion without spending a fortune, with a little help from MTV stylist Susan Bauer.
You don't have to be able to afford everything that goes down the runway to look really good.
So with that in mind, we set out to find the latest styles at a great price. Now, don't expect to walk into a thrift store and wear the first thing you see.
Okay, this? First impression, house coat, you know.
But with a little creativity and some big changes, we snipped off the length, added a belt, grabbed a great pair of sandals, and these big beads. And she's ready to go for under $30. Next, we searched for something in for spring. At first glance, this vest looks like something you'd wear on an African safari, and the skirt looks like something you'd wear in high school. But there's hope. In under 10 minutes, we transformed this outfit into the latest urban safari trend with under $50.
Wow, what a transformation. Totally chic, savvy.
So before you go out and break the bank, try digging through your closet. You never know what you might find.
I was a little skeptical at first, but I put all the pieces together. What do you think?
Julie, you look fantastic. It's so hippie chic. You have all the right elements for spring, and I think you're ready for a night out in the town.
All right, in Chelsea, Julie Banderas, Fox 5 News.
All right, Midtown's gone to the dogs. That can only mean one thing. The Westminster Dog Show's in town. James Ford's been checking it out for you. He's at the Garden right now. James.
Well, if you are a dog lover, you can understand why organizers call this the Super Bowl of dogdom. But if you are not a dog lover, maybe this will help you understand.
These little dogs that
Since it's a dog show, you'd think the event is about the 2,600 canines, but you'd be wrong. It's estimated 20,000 people come for as many different reasons.
I just like to look at them. We have a dog.
Oh, why didn't you enter the dog in this show?
She's fat. She's fat.
Fluffy, if you're watching, here are the more fit dogs your owners spent big bucks to view.
How much did you have to pay for both of you? $70. Was it worth it?
Absolutely. It means we don't have to have a dog the rest of the year.
For some, it's not about viewing dogs.
They smell wonderful. They're all done up, you know. They
They're perfumed and they're soft and it's very sensual.
Some of the dogs are as big as their owners. Some look like their owners. Others, thankfully, do not.
Nobody has said that I look like a Chinese crested, at least not so far.
Crowds come early for the arena show, and folks like this couple had to explain to friends why they missed work for this.
They're jealous. They wanted to be here too.
All of them?
Well, the few that I told.
And look at this. These are the dogs that were honored tonight, the search dogs from Ground Zero and the Pentagon. This show lasts 2 days, the second being tomorrow when the best of show dog is announced. We wish all the dogs luck. Reporting live from Midtown, James Ford, Fox 5 News.
And coming up, the parents of a missing girl raised the stakes in a desperate search for their daughter. Up next, the tape you'll see only on Fox, dramatic home video from the Pentagon minutes after the attack on 9/11.
Coming up later, it's Monday. That means Mitchell's here with the inside scoop on his All-Star weekend.
That's right, Rosanna. I was at the All-Star game in Philly, and I've got the juice for you. We're talking MJ, P. Diddy, and my new best friend from Boston Public.
Really? And that's the only hint you're going to give us right now?
That's it.
All right, we'll have to stick around.
It's been 5 months to the day since the terrorist attacks on 9/11. And Fox News has released this exclusive video, search and rescue teams combing the Pentagon moments after the plane crash. Members of the Fairfax County Fire Department, they searched through the burning rubble looking for survivors. 25 people who worked at the Pentagon were killed in that attack, along with 65 people on the plane. The parents of a missing little girl are offering a $25,000 reward for her safe return, Danielle Van Dam. She's 7 years old, vanished from her home in San Diego over a week ago. Her parents say that someone came into their home in the middle of the night and took her.
I hope this will motivate someone who knows where she is to step forward, return her to us, or help us find her. Somebody out there knows something they're not talking about, and we just thought that maybe this money will motivate them.
A neighbor's been questioned, but police haven't charged him with anything. Danielle's story was on the Fox show America's Most Wanted this weekend. About 20 people called in with tips. They're being followed up as we speak. Rosanna?
John, a prison break in the West Bank caught on tape, and dangerous wildfires race across Southern California. Some of the stories in the news right now. Southern California, 40 homes have burned north of San Diego. 11 people were hurt running from the wildfires. More than 700 firefighters have been called in to help. The fires are racing towards Camp Pendleton, that's home to 30,000 Marines. Blame the Santa Ana winds for whipping up those flames. Off of Baja, California, a passing freighter rescued 2 divers after their boat sank. The 2 had drifted on the open seas for 12 hours. In suburban Atlanta, investigators are looking for the cause of a fire at a church. This 3-alarmer destroyed the Mount Carmel Baptist Church. No one was hurt. Near Cleveland, a gunman held several people hostage inside a pharmacy. After police negotiators got the last hostage released, the gunman committed suicide. In the West Bank, a crowd of Palestinians stormed a prison in Hebron. It happened during Israeli missile strikes in Gaza. Nearly 20 Islamic Jihad and Hamas militants escaped from the prison. That's a look at some of the stories in the news right now.
And coming up later, Mitchell face Oscar buzz. Some big names are ready to duke it out.
Plus, scientists are getting ready to test a new cancer vaccine.
And a dentist claims he's found a cure for migraines. Can it help you? The story when we come right back.
You're watching Fox 5 News at 10.
Right now, we want to quickly update you that breaking news we brought you at the top of our broadcast, a new terrorist threat. Len Cannon is in the newsroom right now with the latest. Len.
John, that terrorist threat could happen as early as tomorrow, according to the FBI. Let's go to the FBI website. It is FBI.gov, and they now have the name of the man that the FBI believes could be responsible, would be behind a possible terrorist attack in the United States. Fawaz Yahya al-Rabi is the name. I hope to have a picture of this gentleman later on in the evening or overnight. Keep your eye on that website and see if that face, that picture pops up of Fawaz Yahya al-Rabi. Also, we talked to a couple of the tourist sites around New York City, the Empire State Building, the Statue of Liberty, and we are told that those tourist sites, those attractions will be open tomorrow. However, city officials tell us that they remain on a heightened state of alert. That's the latest from Fox 5 Newsroom. Rosanna, back to you.
Okay, thank you, Len. Now, if you've ever had a migraine headache, you know how painful it is, and you'd almost do anything to make it go away. Now there's a dentist at the New York Medical College who's experimenting with a new treatment that he says is getting great results. Some 28 million Americans suffer from migraines.
It's like being clamped in by the head.
Experts have always believed they were triggered by expanding blood vessels in the brain. But now there's a dentist who's taking a whole different view of the pain.
My practice was limited to temporal and jaw joint disorders. So as a result, I poked around a lot. And I found that the tenderness occurred often.
Dr. Mark Friedman found that tenderness in his patients who also complained of migraines. It led him to conclude their pain was caused by inflammation above the top molars that was pressing on a nerve. He felt if he could bring down that swelling, he could get rid of the pain. He built a device that he uses in his office. It pumps cold water through tubes that are held against the top molars. And there's an anti-inflammatory gel that patients can use at home.
If I have a headache and I put on the gel, inside 20 minutes, the headache's gone.
Beth Ann Byrne has migraines. She says Dr. Friedman's treatments have changed her life.
When I would get headaches all the time, I wonder what it's like not to have pain all the time. And now I think to myself, I wonder what it's like to have headaches all the time.
Not everybody's convinced this is the miracle cure for migraines. Specialists are calling for clinical studies to prove it works. John.
Well, Rosanna, also in the Fox 5 Health Watch tonight, a sex patch for women. Women who lose their sex drive after menopause may be getting some help to get back in the mood for love. Procter & Gamble is testing a testosterone patch to boost lagging hormone levels. They're going to start a test on volunteers later this month, but even if it works, it's not scheduled to hit the market for several years. Testing is also going to be done on a new cancer vaccine. The researchers found a chemical in cancer cells that actually helps the body fight cancer. They developed a synthetic form of it. It stimulates the body to produce antibodies to attack cancer cells. It's shown promise in animals. They're going to test it on people next year.
The Fox show Boston Public has dealt with many controversial subjects. Earlier tonight, you saw some of the characters tackle the issue of eating disorders.
You're anorexic.
I am not.
Brenda.
A teacher confronted a student about anorexia and her obsession with being thin. The experts say it's a disease that many young women suffer from, and some even die from it. We talked with one young woman who's battling back from anorexia, but she didn't want to show us her face. She's at the Eating Disorders Clinic at Columbia Presbyterian. She's 22 years old. At one point, she weighed as little as 65 pounds, but now she's at a normal weight for the first time since she was 13.
It's definitely more of a struggle now, being at a weight I haven't been for 9 years. I feel like I missed all the time in between.
In the last decades, we've developed a much clearer sense that the essential first step in treatment is the weight restoration.
If you would like more information, here's the number for the National Eating Disorders Association, 1-800-931-2237.
Well, the Partnership for a Drug-Free America released their new ad campaign aimed at ecstasy.
Had no warning signs about Danielle doing
Danielle was always one to talk to her friends about not
Don't kid yourself. This drug has moved into the mainstream. There's been a 71% increase in the use of it. 12% of kids between the ages of 12 and 18 have used it at least once. A former addict talked about her experience with it.
I couldn't get my bearings right. My heart was racing. I didn't know what was happening around me. Everything was spinning. I didn't know. I didn't know.
Well, she's doing fine today, and she talks to students around the country about the dangers of ecstasy. And listen, you already know how tough it's been on the businesses downtown since 9/11. A lot of them are hoping things get better and soon, or they're going to have to make some tough choices. Here's Christopher Jones.
There is little dispute. Lower Manhattan is suffering even more than had been predicted.
We've lost 1/3 of our customer base. We've lost 110,000 jobs downtown, and these small businesses depend on the large commercial tenants that have left the area.
Julie Minnin's popular Vine restaurant on Broad Street near the New York Stock Exchange is hurting, but doing better than many merchants downtown.
Is it better now than it was, or is it not that much better?
It's not better. I wish I could say that it's better. We did see an upturn in December, of course, from holiday parties, but unfortunately it is not getting better.
And this tobacco shop next to the Stock Exchange has been in business for more than 3 decades. but may not have much more time left.
I expected business to be down, but it picked up somewhat, but it's not like what it used to be.
What does it mean in terms of your own survival as a merchant?
Well, I mean, I'm still paying the rent till, till my lease runs out, but then I have to see.
Barricades and street closures are not helping matters downtown, and even those who might want to patronize the area are finding it difficult even to get there, leading some concerns to close the doors without warning and leave. It wasn't so long ago that Timothy's Grilled Coffee here on Broad Street was a going concern. Now it's out of business, and experts fear there will be many more to follow. They say New York City has to be rescued, starting here in Lower Manhattan. Christopher Jones, Fox 5 News.
Bags of cash were removed at Ground Zero. You're looking at a live picture where enough money to fill 60 garbage bags was removed over the weekend. It looks like it was from the Bank of America. They reported $11 million missing after the attacks. No word yet on the exact amount recovered.
At the same time you look at that disaster, New York is getting ready for a big celebration. The Chinese New Year starts at midnight. It's the year of the horse. Some folks got the party started early with this traditional dragon dance at the Asia Society. Fireworks used to be a part of the tradition, as you know, but Mayor Giuliani had them banned. Too many people got hurt. Mayor Bloomberg was asked to lift it, but he says not yet. Too many people still jittery since the terrorist attacks. And of course, that's a disappointment to a lot of people.
The firework is to scare away the bad spirit and to bring good luck. And this is what we want. We want to bring business back to Chinatown and scare away the bad spirit. You know what happened in 9/11. We would like to have the business back.
Mr. Bloomberg says maybe he'll lift the ban on fireworks next year. Well, the post office honored the Chinese New Year by releasing the Year of the Horse commemorative stamp. It's the 10th in their award-winning Lunar Stamp series. It'll be available nationwide tomorrow.
Tomorrow is also Abe Lincoln's birthday. Do you know why they called him Honest Abe? The former president was definitely not a dime a dozen, but these fourth graders at Packer Collegiate Institute in Brooklyn decided they could learn more about him if they could walk in his shoes. One of the things they found out, even as a young boy, Abe came clean about a book he borrowed that was ruined.
Well, coming up, the best of the worst. The Razzies honor this year's box office bomb.
And Air Jordan's all-star snub. Mitchell Fink's got the inside scoop up next.
You're watching Fox 5 News at 10.
If you're into movies, you know tomorrow is the day for the nominees for the Academy Awards to be announced, and there's a lot of backstage maneuvering. We have that and more G from our very own G-Meister, Mitchell Fink. So what's going on?
Well, you know, Rosanna, year in and year out, DreamWorks and Miramax come out with the best movies. This year, DreamWorks has A Beautiful Mind in conjunction with Universal. Miramax has In the Bedroom. And right away, everyone thinks that the studios diss each other. They really don't. They just compete by spending a lot of money on their own.
Whom?
I don't know. I think DreamWorks is probably spending more money on A Beautiful Mind, but I think A Beautiful Mind is the favorite. It should win Best Picture. In the Bedroom will do well. Certainly with a Best Picture nomination, a Sissy Spacek nomination for actress, and I hope Tom Wilkinson for Best Actor.
And Ron Howard, you think he'll get something? Because they say since he doesn't live in Hollywood, he lives in Connecticut.
I don't know that that has anything. He made a great movie. If Beautiful Mind wins, it would be great if he won Best Director.
Now, you had some fun this weekend. You were at that All-Star game?
Well, Michael Jordan must have known something that I didn't know, because he didn't go to his party. I did. He had a party after the dunk contest, and it was just awful. It was the worst. There was hardly anyone there. Jordan was nowhere to be seen. There was like one giant commercial for his new $200 sneaker. But Chi McBride, my new best friend from Boston Public, you know, so many stars go to these events. If they don't get what they want immediately, they start yelling, they call publicists, they just go nuts. He was made to wait because he didn't have a wristband to get into the VIP room. There was no one in the VIP room, but he waited patiently. He could not have been nicer.
He's a classy guy.
Classy guy. This juxtaposes with P. Diddy, who sat in Celebrity Row, and he was so intent on getting a photograph taken with Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier that when his little boy had to go to the bathroom, he didn't even take him to the bathroom. That was done by his bodyguard.
Huh. Now, what's going on with Ellen DeGeneres?
Ellen DeGeneres was in Barney's in Beverly Hills the other day with a male friend. She was shopping. The guy grabbed a pair of shoes and kind of put them jokingly under his coat, and she pointed to him and she said, "Look, he's impersonating Winona Ryder."
Wow, all right. Thanks, Mitchell. We'll see you back here on Thursday.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, John. Back to you.
All right, Rosanna, thank you, Mitch. The producers of the hit television show Friends are denying a shocking storyline. They say there is no truth to the report in Star magazine that the writers are thinking about killing off Rachel, Jennifer Aniston's character. She had supposedly died while giving birth to Ross's baby, and on her deathbed, requests that Monica and Chandler raise the baby as their own. Right now, the cast is negotiating for over $1 million each per episode. Freddie Got Fingered is the loser that came out a winner, sort of. Tom Green's movie was nominated for 8 Razzies, the award for Worst Movie of the Year. Glitter, starring Mariah Carey, was also nominated. It was her first big movie and a big flop. Plus, Sylvester Stallone and his movie Driven is up for 7 awards in all.
Coming up, one restaurant in Midtown was offering free food, but boy, did you need an appetite.
And hey, what's with the fake grass popping up at our parks in the city? We've got the answer next. Nick.
Nothing fake about the cold tonight, John Rosanna. It is cold out there, but look at the radar around the country. No big storms to tell you about. Have a little up and down temperature ride to go through, and I'll tell you about that coming up next. First, the Dodge Tri-State forecast for tomorrow. City residents who have enjoyed playing sports in their neighborhood parks are finding a new turf to play on, artificial turf. The Parks Department decided to tear up a lot of the fields and replace them with artificial turf to help regenerate the greens and make safer practice fields. The city has finished 9 parks so far and plans to do about 12 more. Costs, though, up to about $1 million per field. And you probably weren't running too quickly on those parks today because the wind was gusting at times 35, 40 miles an hour with the cold air in place. And at least now the wind has calmed down, but we do have a rather chilly night coming up. Let's check the stats for the day. 55 the high. Yeah, when was that, though? Right after midnight. We've been downhill ever since, down to our low of 26. And we did have 0.08 of an inch of rain very early this morning. Record 65 in 1960. -2 way back in 1899. Right now it feels almost like -2 in some spots, but not here in town. The wind chill is about 16 with a clear sky. 26, but look how dry the air is. Only a 1-degree dew point giving us a 34% humidity level. Wind out of the northwest at 9. A lot better than earlier. The pressure 30-20, and it is holding steady. Where are those real cold pockets? Get off to the north and west. It's teens for Newburgh to Poughkeepsie, 20 at Danbury, and then mid-20s from the Hamptons back to about Morristown and Newark tonight, again with a clear sky. Very fast-moving weather pattern. We're in a little dry regime here now with high pressure ridging in, but here's the next system coming in. Same deal. Ahead of it, southwesterly winds, but not that much moisture. Behind it, another shot at some colder air, and we'll be sort of, again, running through this pattern as we go on through the rest of the week. Look at the satellite loop. You can see what I mean. The one storm moving offshore with the cold front. In the clear for now, but already some clouds are approaching from the west. So we'll see sort of a bit of cloud cover here and there overnight, and then sunshine with some clouds to pass through the area tomorrow. But it'll be a southwesterly airflow, and it will get breezy in the afternoon, but that should help pump the temperature up into the middle 40s in a lot of spots. Then this front rapidly comes through tomorrow night. Nothing except for a couple of clouds. Back to sunshine on Wednesday, but it was another gusty day as winds will probably exceed 20, 30 miles per hour in spots, so the temperature not getting out of the upper 30s. But remember, now we've been spoiled, and upper 30s is still closer to where we should be this time of the year. And still no storms to worry about as we go through our forecast, really, for the rest of the week. All right, let's get the details for New York City and the tri-state area. Overnight, we'll talk about a couple of clouds to move through. It'll be cold, 23 in town. 13, though, to 20 as you get into those colder suburbs. Sunrise tomorrow at 6:54, going down at 5:27. And you will see it through the entire day, scattered around with some clouds. 23 again for wake-up, and for the commute, 41 at lunchtime. We briefly hit 46 for the high tomorrow afternoon, then back into the lower 40s later in the day. Check out the 5-day forecast, and again, you'll see that temperatures really chill back down again by Wednesday with sunshine, and about 39 for the high after morning low in the mid-30s. 24 Thursday morning, then back up to 38 degrees. Again, sunshine and some clouds. A couple of rain or snow showers possible Friday, no big deal, middle 40s, and we'll start the weekend anyway on a dry note on Saturday in the lower 40s. We're still lucking out. It's amazing, but we're still lucking out.
We need the rain, though.
Well, we got about the half an inch of rain, or close to it, in the city yesterday, and the reservoirs actually got a little bit more than that. So yesterday was a good one.
Okay. Thanks, Nick. The Carnegie Deli was offering their customers free food today, but only if you could eat all of it. They've been running this contest now for 65 years. What you had to do was eat 2 sandwiches. The catch? Each of them weighed 4 pounds. If you didn't finish both of them, you guessed it, you had to pay for both of them. 6 people gave it a shot. Only 2 managed to eat it. They got their sandwiches for free.
I'm already getting sick.
I'm John DeCefalo. Coming up next in sports, a former Net gets in trouble with the law while his former teammates continue to be the toast of the NBA. We'll take a quick second-half preview of those Nets when we come back in sports. They are by far the biggest surprise in the NBA this year. And even after storming out of the gates early on, nobody really took the New Jersey Nets seriously. But with players like Jason Kidd, Kenyon Martin, Kerry Kittles, and Keith Van Horn, the Nets are starting to turn heads everywhere they go, as evident with their record, 32-15, the best in franchise history to start a season, and more importantly, the best right now in the Eastern Conference.
This is where you can go run and hide. I asked Todd earlier, you know, when you guys just went and ran and hide last year? Nobody could catch them because, you know, after a while they were 7-8 games up.
We're at the halfway mark now. We played well early on, and teams didn't really take us seriously. But I think now everyone is competing against us and playing hard, and so we'll just try to sustain the effort that we're giving out now, and continue throughout the rest of the year and into the postseason.
Meanwhile, former Net Stephon Marbury was back in the spotlight today, apologizing to the Phoenix Suns and their fans after being arrested for drunk driving. To the college hardwood we move. The UConn Huskies feel like they have something to prove after getting beaten by St. John's over the weekend by 2, 85-83 in overtime. Head coach Jim Calhoun and his troops were looking to pound out a win tonight against Villanova. And talk about executing the textbook fast break. The Wildcats are putting on the clinic early on, with Chris Charles finishing for the slam. Nova on top by 4. But Caron Butler would keep UConn's hopes alive, playing great D, steals the ball here, and then beats the clock at the buzzer at the half. Huskies up by 1 at the break. And Butler kept it going in the second half, eventually getting the ball here and going baseline, taking control himself. He pumps in 20 points as UConn gets back into the win column with a 6-point victory. It was the second lowest scoring game in Big East history.